All right, everybody, I'm back again. We're gonna try this one more time. Man, I don't know what's wrong with Instagram this morning, man. But it really, don't make no sense. It shouldn't be that hard to get somebody up here on stage. So let me see. You see the invite, Joey? Okay, hold on. Here we go. I just accepted it. I don't know why. All right, man. What's good, my brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, fam. You know,
Instagram got to be the most worst. Okay, Instagram got to be the worst, man. I'm talking about the worst, man. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Cause I'm out here at the casino, man. It ain't that far from my house, but it's probably about it's in another little Kentucky. I live in Tennessee, but it's only like a 30 minute drive from my house. And I shot out here, and I was on my way when you hit me up. I was like, man, I got to pull over. You know what I'm saying? I got to talk about this, and I really got upset this morning, man. I seen Gilbert Arenas, a guy that's been was an NBA player, a professional athlete, trying to make it seem like it don't matter, nobody's gonna be on your side. Devin, he still beat you, whooped you, and I'm listening to this guy like, do you understand what part steroids, if true, can play in the, you know what I'm saying, the outcome of
Big
a fight?
time. You know, that's one thing I do respect is what Mike Tyson said. You know, any fighter that takes any type of juicing, any type of drugs, steroids, in a boxing match should be charged with attempted murder because that's basically you're playing with somebody's life. You know, professional boxing is a dangerous sport in itself. We've seen a lot of fighters like Pichar Colon,
Yep.
Data Chef, you know, that have died. Pichar Colon ended up being a vegetable, you know, and we have many other fighters that have died in the sport of boxing itself.
Man, you definitely right. And what really gets me, man, is when people don't see that, or I'm still seeing people like, that you can tell the hate that people got for Devin Haney for some reason. I think it's more leaning towards his father than anything because, like I say all the time, Devin seems like he's a good young man. Like I don't see all the problem. I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of baffles me. But you still got people that acting like this is no big deal. Ryan Garcia, all right. But that's how people acting. Some people don't even want to believe it. But one thing I tell people, like I've always known Dan Raphael, he don't put out nothing without having no concrete evidence.
You know, and that's the thing. He failed to test. You know, the thing. My question is, why did the commission allow him to get in to fight? If he already tested positive for two substances the day before the fight, and before the fight, literally the same day before the fight, you still gotta take urination tests and all that. So why did they let him continue in the fight? You know, they should have
Okay,
pulled him out.
so they do test y'all before the fight.
So yeah, they test us the day of the weigh-in, and right before the fight, they test us again just to make sure that we haven't taken any type of substances right before the fight. Because you got a lot of fighters, you know, that have done crazy things. Some fighters have taken cocaine right before a fight, you know, and that's the thing, like cocaine, steroids, things like that that are gonna give you a boost as a fighter to win the fight, you know, and they have to test you for all those things right before. So I mean, if he tested positive, my question is why did they let him continue into the fight?
You think it has a lot to do with being that type of fight of that magnitude, that type of money, and what it brought to boxing?
I mean, in my opinion, I just think that it was a lot of money on the table, and I feel like the commission, especially the commission, didn't really look at it from that fact. They just looked at the money that was being played on the table, how much money was in the bets and everything, and they weren't gonna take that type of fight away from the people, and that fight that could generate a lot of money. A lot of thing has to play with the promoters too. The promoters, they invested a lot of money, so they're gonna do whatever is possible to make sure that they make that money back.
That's right. And somebody in the comment, Pistol, said, man, the fight should never have happened. And I
I
agree 100% with you.
agree
That fight,
100% with that.
yeah, it should never have happened. That fight should have been stopped, postponed, or whatever. And it really upsets me now, knowing that this man, uh, you know, couldn't. He didn't make 140. He was already trying to get an edge, and then you add that with steroids too.
Hmm. You know, it ain't fair. You know, it wasn't a fair playing field at all.
You know,
You know, and that's my thing. You know, it'd be different. You know, I understand people are saying, "Oh, they're trying to discredit Ryan Garcia's win and this and that, bro." But it's not discrediting. It's different. If he would have came in clean, you know, and won the fight clean, you know, even though he was overweight,
yeah,
you know, 3 pounds. I still gave it to Devin as far as weight because I heard Devin came in heavier the next day. But as far as drugs, man, like coming in dirty, testing in dirty with steroids, that ain't cool. You know what I mean? You're putting somebody's life in danger right there.
and you got a lot of people, man. Like I said, man, this, I hate it because, when certain fighters do this right here, oh my God, they crucify 'em. And then when it's their favorite fighter, all of a sudden it's no problem. And that's what's wrong with boxing. And I blame boxing fans for that, man, because if you really love boxing the way I love boxing, you also got to love the integrity of the sport. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? I
You
just don't
can't
understand.
just go after favorite boxers. You can't, oh, my favorite boxer, oh, but they're trying to do this. Nah, bro, like it's an even playing field. You gotta think about it. If it was your son in that ring, or if it was your own life in that ring fighting, and somebody came and tested dirty and fought against you and whooped you or whooped your son, you're gonna be upset, of course, because they beat him unfairly. They could have killed them. There's a lot of things in play that people don't understand. But again, it's like Roger Mayweather said. Most people don't know about boxing. You know what I mean? Not
Right.
to say any bad words, but yeah.
You told the truth, man. And I'm starting to find that out more and more every day. A lot of people that watch boxing don't really understand boxing. You know what I'm saying? I figured that out. You know what I'm saying? They watch it. You know what I'm saying? They enjoy the sport, but they don't really take the time to really, know what goes on behind the scenes, or,
But this
and
is
that's what I
what you
really,
get. This is
yeah.
what you get when you got people like Jake Paul that aren't really boxers that are bringing in a bigger market into the boxing industry. You know what I mean? They're helping the boxing community by bringing in different fans. But you have a lot of new boxing fans that came over from watching MMA or just watching Jake Paul's YouTube live videos, and
Mhm.
they don't really know nothing about boxing. They're barely getting into it, and they're finding out, oh, well, I think this, I think that. No, bro, you gotta find out. If you're a true boxing fan, you gotta study it all the way back from even Jack Dempsey times. I'm
Yep.
talking about from the starting of boxing. Hey, what's up, Tyson? What's up, bro?
What's good with you, Tyson? We sitting there talking about this Ryan Garcia situation. What you think about it? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, man, I'm really just I feel like Ryan Garcia without a doubt. If it's true or whatever, and it seems like it's true, because he fell for two different substances, not one but two. I found that out this morning. He did fail for two different things, so that lets me know, man. And for him to come on and talking about, man, I did, what I'm saying, I'm not a cheater. I didn't know anything. I don't even know where to get steroids at. That's the first thing people like to say. I don't even know where to get them
I
at.
mean, bro, at this point, the money he betted on himself and he won, there has to be something for it, So it's just, in my opinion, there has to be something done because he basically scammed the casino, knowing he was gonna test dirty, came in, won the fight. How he said he was gonna win it because he knew what was gonna go happen, what was gonna happen if he already took the substances. You know what I mean?
Man, and that's crazy. I wondered about that. A lot of people lost a lot of money on that fight. You know what
You know,
I'm saying?
a lot of
Nobody
people lost a lot of money.
and nobody's gonna get their money back. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he did straight up he straight up cheated. You know what I'm saying? He straight up cheated. If ain't buzz about it. But I see, like, I watch a lot of channels that were putting out the videos, putting out the memes of Devin Haney and all that. But I went back through to check on them channels, and I ain't seen now one of them post nothing about this whole
So
situation.
we're talking about how Ryan Garcia tested positive for illegal substances in the Devin Haney fight because before he fought, he basically tested dirty for steroids and a couple of other peds, which aren't legal in the boxing industry. Basically, playing with somebody's life in the ring.
Mhm. And you know, what do you think gonna be the because he got 10 days for them to test the B sample, from my understanding.
Mhm.
You know, in the B sample, I'm gonna be real with you. Most time the B sample usually comes back the same way the A sample came back. Few instances where it didn't happen, but what happens if the B sample does come back? What do you think happens?
You know, I mean, in my opinion, what I think should happen, they should count it a no contest. They should definitely count it a no contest because he didn't win that fight.
Right?
If he came in dirty, they should at least. I mean, they have to take half his purse money away for sure. I know that's a law,
Yeah,
and I also know that they need to either the casinos need to take action and start taking the money that he betted on himself because he didn't win it the right way. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna be in this sport of boxing, you gotta do it right. You gotta take it the old school way. Like I can't even stand Oscar De La Hoya, backing him up in this case. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Oscar, you knew better. You knew what was
yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
And man, Oscar De La Hoya, whether you think about him or not, whether you like him or not, you know what I'm saying? The guy was a great fighter. He was somebody, man, that I thought would fight anybody. He gave plenty of people opportunities. You know what I'm saying? He was willing to get in there and face stiff competition. So he knows what steroids can do. So I just really don't have no respect for that
You
right there. You know what I'm saying?
know,
Backing this guy up.
and it's like this is the thing that gets me upset. A lot of these fighters, they become promoters, boxing promoters, and instead of doing right by fighters, they do exactly what they were done that was done to them. They try to steal from fighters, they try to do fighters dirty. Just like they were done dirty early on in the sport. Let's make a difference, let's change things. Why are we gonna hinder fighters from making money and scam them when you know how dirty this sport is and you've been in the sport for so long, you have so much experience? Why do the same to other fighters? Like look at what Canelo said at the press conference. He straight up told him, like, come on, bro, you're making this about you. You're not even making it about Munya at this point. You're not even promoting Munya. And that's exactly how I saw the press
Yeah.
conference. That's exactly what was happening. I can't even argue with Canelo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't understand Oscar De La Hoya's methods. You know what I'm saying? I believe he calls himself trying to get Canelo off his square, trying to make him lose his focus. But what he probably gonna do is really get Hammy in a bad situation. Cause I think Canelo's gonna really come in laser focus now. And I already had Canelo winning. You know what I'm saying? But now I can see Canelo maybe stopping
Oh
him.
yeah. That's one thing. People, they're coming in, they're underestimating Canelo for the Munya fight. They're saying, "Oh, Munya, he's the younger fighter. He's gonna be tough." Like, yeah, it's different, bro. He's fought. He's made his career a good career. Fought a couple of good name fighters, but he don't got nowhere near the experience Canelo has. You know what I mean? It's different. It's
Yeah,
different levels to this. It's like me right now trying to say, oh, well, you know what? I'm ready to fight Canelo.
yeah,
I ain't ready to fight Canelo. I'll get destroyed by Canelo. Not saying that I'm not a good fighter, that I'm not a good prospect, but I know there's levels to this. I can't step from a fighter that's considered a top level prospect to the elite level fighters where you're already fighting world champions, world titles. I need to climb up the ranks. And that's why I respect this sport of boxing because you get what you put into it. If you work hard and you stay dedicated and disciplined to the sport, you're gonna get what you get from the sport, what you put in. But if you take it as a joke, that's exactly what you're gonna get.
man. Man, you just said a mouthful then, man, and that's real talk right there, and people got to understand that, man. Boxing, man, and one thing about boxing I love about it, there ain't like with football, you know what I'm saying? You got 11 people on the field with you that's on your team. And boxing, man, is you. You know what I'm saying? When you step in that ring, it's just you. You in there
Exactly.
alone, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't
So,
nobody
like you
gonna
said,
pick up the slack for you in a football game or in a track meet when you're running in a relay. If you're running slow and you pass the baton, that person that was in front of you might pick up the slack for you, might be able to close that gap that you made. In boxing, we don't have that. In boxing, it has to be you, yourself, and that's it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, two guys go in that ring and only one comes out with victorious. You know what I mean? So I believe the only friend I have in the ring is God. When I put God first, That's all I have. My coach is like my conscience outside of the ring. But even with the coaching, sometimes there's a lot of things happening where they give dirty money to the coach under the table. The coach will start giving them information or do the fighter dirty. So at the end of the day, it's a really, really lonely sport with boxing. You can't really trust a lot of people.
Man, I agree with you. And when you looking at this situation, like I listened to Robert Garcia this morning, and he said some stuff like he was making sense. Everything he always, I love to hear Robert Garcia talk, and he just said this morning, like where you looking at the situation when certain fighters cheat, man. And people try to brush it up put it up under the rug or brush it under the table, like what I'm saying. They try to act like it's not a big deal, and we looking at guys like Robert Garcia has, some great fighters, but the thing that kind of gets me is Eddie Reynoso, right? He's a
Mm.
great trainer. I can't take that from him. But it seems like out of Eddie Reynoso camp, and even though Ryan Garcia isn't there anymore, that a lot of fighters have popped dirtier for some reason. Have you ever paid attention to that or thought about that?
Well, yeah, no, I've noticed that, you know what I mean? And I don't know what Eddie's given, especially even with the whole Canelo thing with talking about the meat, bro. There's no way. Like all the meat, even in America, there's a lot of meat that they feed those steroids to bulls to make them fat, to get bigger cuts of meat. Everybody eats that meat. Nobody tests dirty for those things.
No,
You know what I mean? So there
no.
was no reason for him to, oh, it was the meat. Nah, bro. It's something that they're giving you guys in the camp. Either you guys aren't aware or you guys know what's going on and just decide to keep it quiet. You know what I mean? A lot of people in this sport, they stay quiet. They know a lot of things going on, but they stay quiet about it, and they don't want to say nothing because it will diminish their name or it'll bring their name down. But they know exactly what they're doing, bro. If they're giving me something, I have to be aware of what it is because I'm gonna notice the change in my own body. If you don't know the
Yeah.
change in your own body and you don't know what your body's supposed to feel like, you can't call yourself a professional boxer. Me, I walk around and I know what I'm eating. I know what my weight approximately is because I know what my body's supposed to feel like.
Right.
I know where I'm
Right.
close to 140. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm close to 141, 142. I weigh myself. That's exactly what I'm at, because it's so many years of doing this that your body already has a memory of it.
Right. Right, definitely. And like, let me ask you a question. Do you think sometimes the coaches are giving fighters stuff and the fighters, without them knowing? Do you think it ever happens? Like, okay, a coach would be giving a fighter something, putting it in their supplements without the fighter knowing?
I believe I believe it does happen, but I believe there's only a certain amount of time till the fighter has to know because I mean, regardless, like I said, you know what your body's supposed to feel like. You know what your body's felt like after all the training camps that you've had, all the things, you know. If you're taking something and you feel different, there has to be something different going on. But you haven't changed your training regimen, you haven't changed your eating habits. They're putting in something. They're doing something to you, so they gotta know. You have to know as a fighter.
Yeah, you got to know. I agree with you. Do you think there will be a suspension if this B sample comes back?
Oh, there has to be a suspension. Why are you gonna let this fighter continue? You've given everybody else a suspension for testing dirty, so why not give him a suspension? What makes him different?
You right about that. He no different from nobody else. And usually, what the first suspension is usually a year, something like that. I think it's a year, right?
Yep, it's a year. They do a year or a 6 month suspension, but I think for testing dirty for pets is about a year.
Okay, yeah, I think it's definitely a year, and I truly believe, you know what I'm saying, that you know, man, this right here, the no contest, even though, what I'm saying, they're gonna take that loss off Devin Haney's record, and he'll go back to being undefeated. It still weighs heavy on your mind, and now as a fighter, if you fight somebody that has steroids once, you're gonna always have it in the back of your mind. I believe when you go back in there, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
the thing is, he's already been dropped, bro, and he's gonna have a lot of fighters are not able to overcome that mental hurdle where
right.
if they've been dropped or they've been hurt before, they're not able to respond or react the same way because they have that fear. Oh, I'm gonna get dropped again, or I got caught like this last time. This is how I got hurt. You know, unless you're Manny Pacquiao or you learn how to cope with that and learn how to work through it, you're not gonna
Yeah,
get through it. You know what I mean? So it's definitely gonna hurt his career, but it's completely up to him to make a difference. Like I said, and I've said it before, it's completely up to him to take this loss and catapult his career to the next level. By not being afraid and overcoming this, or
right.
him letting them take it down, come back from a fight, and just his career goes downhill from here. Makes two or three big money fights and then has to retire. But
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
too young for this, man. He has to overcome it. You know, he's still young. He's
He
younger than me.
definitely
He's 2 years younger than me.
okay. Yeah, yeah. He definitely has a long road ahead of him and a long career if things play out the way it should play out. And I'm hearing that Bill Hainer. Well, let me read this down here. This comment. I like the comment down here, man. Your body is like a car. Foreign substances change performances.
Period.
Period.
Hmm.
Man, and
And that
that's
is
one
so
hundred
true.
percent true, man. That's true, and that's why when I heard Gilbert Arenas talking this morning and acting like, okay, yeah, we don't care. Everybody seen Devin Haney get whooped. No, you're speaking for yourself because any real boxing fan knows and respects and love this sport. Don't have that same feeling that you have about what took place because we know, you know what I'm saying. That's why they suspend you, whether it's basketball, football, or whatever. If you're taking any kind of what you call it, performance
Substance.
enhancing drug, they get rid of you.
I
You know what
mean,
I'm saying? They're gonna give
exactly.
you.
Look at football players. Football players test dirty for something, they get suspended, and they don't get their payment for the whole year. Or if they got paid, they got to reimburse some of the payment. You know, but
Yeah,
if it's American football, people make it a big deal. You know what I mean? People make it a huge deal. Now boxing, how come we're not making it a big deal? How come we're not? What's different? You know, you got a lot more safety precautions in American football than you do from boxing. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
And it's no problem with me. I love football. I love me some football, bro. But let's be real. It's two different type of sports where one, you're definitely gonna get hit on the head. Football, you might get a clash here and then. You might catch a concussion, but in what, in like 2 or 3 games, maybe four. You
Yep,
know,
yep.
boxing, you get a concussion every time you step in the ring. If you get caught, bro, those 8 ounce glove, 10 ounce glove is like getting hit with a baseball bat.
Man, that's crazy. And we're talking about this. They just sanctioned the Mike Tyson and versus Jake Paul fight is gonna actually count on their records. But what I can't understand, and I feel like this is really uh foul play. Jake Paul has got it where they're wearing 16-ounce gloves, man. You're taking away from what Mike Tyson really does. You're basically handicapping him in a sense. How do you feel about that right there?
Well, I mean, I feel definitely. I feel like that shouldn't have been a play because he's afraid of Tyson's power, and he knows,
I can't hear you. Okay, there you go.
like, they're taking away from his power. You know,
Yep.
and that's one thing that I don't agree with. You know, is them taking away from his power. I also think that they need to take away that whole substance ban thing because they said, "Oh, we're not for this fight. Oh, we're not testing for any type of steroids or nothing like that," which doesn't make no sense to me.
Yeah, that's crazy right there. I mean, that's really crazy. Yep. Apparently they are allowing him to use foreign substances too.
Yeah,
And I agree, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't like this situation for Mike Tyson, especially him being his age. And I
bro,
feel
he's
like,
57. Come on, Jay. Come on, bro. What are you doing? Are you that afraid of the man that's 57 years old that you know can beat
yeah,
you, bro? Come on
yeah.
now. You know what I
And
mean?
he's
Like,
gonna want full credit for this victory if he wins. He wants full credit. I can't give you full credit when you're handicapping somebody.
exactly. Not just handicapping him.
The sound keeps going out. Can you hear me, Joey? Oh Lord, y'all. 1 second. Y'all bear with us, man. Don't go nowhere. Hoping to come back in. Yep, it's a very dangerous situation for Tyson. To be honest, I agree 100%, man. I'm hoping Joey come back in, but you're right about that, man. It's very dangerous. Mike Tyson is okay. You're back. It was froze for a minute. Can you hear me, Joey?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, Mike Tyson being 57, I was already worried about his endurance. And I felt like if they came in there, I think that Mike, because of his boxing skills, would be able to get Jake Paul out of there early. So Jake Paul, knowing this, is trying to, basically put him in some big gloves, hope that he can take those shots early and then beat Mike Tyson in the later rounds. I see the play.
Oh
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I see the
everybody
play.
sees the play. You know what I mean? The thing is, bro, like, come on now. Like, you gonna call out Mike Tyson at 57 years old? Come on, bro. Like, that don't make no sense. You know what I mean? If you're gonna make it an official fight instead of making it 8 rounds, make it a 4 rounder. Let's see. Mike Tyson got 4 rounds, bro. In 4 rounds, Mike Tyson can definitely take him out. Because even though
Yeah.
given his age and everything, conditioning is gonna play a factor there because he don't got the same conditioning. But I'll tell you this much: from the Roy Jones Jr. fight versus Mike Tyson, the exhibition match, I saw Mike Tyson pulling out a lot of punches.
Oh, he did. He did. He wasn't trying to hurt Roy. I seen him pulling back on his shots. I seen times that he could have, gave Roy a headshot, but he went to the body.
Mm-hmm.
So I seen all that. Like I tell people, if you got to really pay attention to boxing. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that fight right there and really, say, hey man, Mike Tyson didn't look that good because I seen everything I needed to see. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was looking at, all the same things you were looking at. I just don't believe he wanted to hurt Roy out of respect.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. And well, we got, like I said, we got the Canelo fight and Hammer McGill fight coming up. Like I said, I got Canelo winning that fight. But I'm just interested in what do you think about the Tyson Fury and the Usyk fight?
I think Usyk is gonna win. I think Tyson Fury has a hard time against boxers. I mean, for example, let's Tyson Fury wanted to fight a long time ago. He could have gave Luis Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz, a shot. Why hasn't
Yeah,
he given him a shot? Because he has trouble with boxers.
yeah, yeah,
Wilder is different. Wilder wasn't a boxer. Wilder was just wild. You know what I mean? You could beat a guy that's wild because Tyson has some decent boxing skills. For a heavyweight, he can do a lot of stuff that heavyweights shouldn't be able to do.
man.
But Usyk,
Yeah.
Usyk is Olympic fighter. You know what I mean? He's an Olympic level fighter. He's fought in that stage. His skills at boxing are freaking phenomenal. So
Uh,
that's different.
yeah, you're right. You're right about that. And I never really just looked at it like that. As far as him having trouble with boxers, I always thought that the way I kind of see him trying to play the fight out, I see him trying to lean on Usyk a lot, holding him, putting him in headlocks. You know the stuff that Tyson Fury does
Exactly.
to try to wear you
But
down.
that's the thing about Usyk is notice this. Tyson Fury wasn't able to do that against Ngannou. Why? Because Ngannou was a bigger man, a bigger
Right.
fighter, a stronger fighter, a strong fighter.
Mhm.
And given that Tyson doesn't do that to big fighters that are strong. Usyk, even though he's small, Usyk's a pretty strong man, a pretty strong fighter. I don't think Tyson might try to do it in the early rounds, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get away with it.
Okay, so you don't see that. You say you think he's gonna try it, but you just don't think it's gonna work.
Exactly. I don't think it's gonna work because I think Usyk has enough power to take him off, keep him off himself, and actually the boxing IQ too. You know what I mean? That's for fighters that don't have boxing IQ. You can do that to them, but fighters that do have boxing IQ, it's real hard for you to even get a hold of them because they'll punch you before you even clinch them or hold them.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And man, the craziest thing that's going on right now in the world of boxing is the Floyd Mayweather and Javante Tank Davis situation. But uh, do you take any credence into what they're saying about Floyd being stuck over here in Dubai because of him owing money to somebody over there?
It is what it is, man. I mean, Floyd did a lot of exhibition matches. Maybe he hasn't paid taxes on the money. Maybe he was getting money from a promoter or something, and like they were putting in money into him, and he didn't come up with his part of the money. There's a lot of rumors. I just let it be until I don't see the writing.
Yeah,
Until I don't see black and white, especially in this sport of boxing. If you don't see black and white, don't even take it serious. Don't even bother with it.
yeah. So it ain't even worth it if it ain't black and white. It's not even worth really just talking about it. And you know what I'm saying? Whatever the situation is, I just wish the best for him and
Exactly.
hope everything works out. And I just hate
Exactly.
to
And I
see.
do the same. You know what I mean? I don't wish no bad on nobody, but in this sport, I learned that, bro. If it ain't black and white, don't even believe it. A lot of promoters will tell fighters, oh, you know what? I'll give you a house, I'll give you a car, this and that, but it's not on the contract. But they're telling them, oh, I'll give it to you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to give it to you anyways. And if it ain't on the contract, they don't have to give it to you. You got to make sure that it's on that contract.
Yeah, you're right. Let me ask you a question because we had like me and my guys, man, free and we done a live and we was going back and forth about how much a trainer or coach get a trainer gets. What percentage does most trainers get in boxing?
It's supposed to be a 10%.
Okay,
It's supposed to be
that's
a
what I thought
10%.
because they were trying to take like my guy Pryor was saying like there's no way possible that any trainer's gonna get 2.5 million. And we were saying if a fighter makes 25 million in the fight, we were talking about, the Earl Spence fight, and we're not talking about the back end. We're talking about if the actual contract was 25 million up front, that Derrick James should have got 2.5 million, if that's
Exactly.
correct.
He has to because it's 10% of the fighter's purse.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Thank you both.
Thank you,
Great
bro.
content. Man, thank you, man. We appreciate that for real, man. I try, man. The Joy is always good to talk to, man. He knows his stuff, and I just love, man, talking boxing anyway, but especially with somebody that knows it. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm going to do, Joy, man, I know you couldn't catch your flight, and I always appreciate talking to you, and we're going to continue to do this. And as you taking your journey in boxing, I'll be taking it with you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
I can't wait. I can't wait to one day we're on here talking, man, and you got that, man, and you're a WBC, WBA, IBF, or WBO champion, man,
Yes, sir.
because it's
Yes,
gonna happen.
sir.
I truly believe it, man. Like Deontay Wilder said, speak it, believe it, receive it, and it shall come true.
Amen. And that's the whole truth about it, man. The tongue has the power to speak things into existence. And I tell people, God spoke the world into existence. It doesn't say when you read the book of Genesis, it doesn't say God grabbed everything and started putting it in place. No, he said, let there be light, and there was light. He spoke it into existence. We were made into his image. So, our tongue, our words have power. And that's what people, they call it the law of attraction. It's not the law of attraction. It's just the power that God gave us. It's there in the Bible, but people don't want to believe it.
Right. I agree with you, man. I'm gonna get inside this casino. I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully I win me a little money. If not, well, back to the drawing board again.
Yes, sir. All right, man. God bless you and take
God
care,
bless you.
bro. It was nice topping it up with you.
You too, man. Let me know when you land, man.
Okay.
Safe travel.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Man, peace. I hope everybody enjoyed this interview, man. I don't really call it an interview no more when it comes to talking to Joey, man. I feel like I know him. We talk all the time. So nothing but respect for him, man, and just giving me these opportunities all the time. Man, listen up. If you're not on my YouTube channel, I would gladly appreciate y'all go over there, man, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, CDK Boxing. The CDK is capital and the boxing is all lowercase and it's one word. So man, y'all please go over there and check me out, man. Just show me some support. All right, I'm out of here, y'all.